Hello everyone, this is Benjamin from Vieru TV. We are here in PDX, Portland. Beautiful sun, beautiful weather. We are here with Justin. Hello Justin, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for coming here.
Right.
And do you say French fries or chips?
French fries.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
With the salt, with the little salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have frites, correct?
Yes, frites.
Okay,
French
sweet.
fries is frites. You know, French fries is not from France. It's from Belgium.
Belgium, yeah.
What do you do in your life? What do you do?
Yeah.
Why you are here today? Why? Why, Justin?
Yeah,
Why?
let's explain why I'm in Portland right
Take
now.
the mic.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so-
yeah.
I'm in Portland because this is where Nike is.
Yeah.
So that's really the most straightforward answer. I was born in New York City and grew up
Okay.
in New Jersey.
Where? New Jersey. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to school in New York, and during that time I was able to work in journalism
Okay.
at HuffPost and Complex.
Complex magazine.
Complex magazine. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was I got to work. I was one of the first ones to contribute to their soccer or football section. So at the time, around 2013, 2014, there was a World Cup coming up, of course, in 2014, and some of the editors were also soccer fans, Arsenal fans, because like basically 90% of New York are Arsenal fans at this point, or Manchester City, but that's another story. But
Okay.
yeah, they needed soccer coverage, and I was known for liking the sport because I was probably the only guy in the office wearing jerseys. So they asked me to do it, and I wrote soccer guides for them. I did interviews for them. I was their go-to soccer guy for a while, so that's how I kind of got my foot in the door when it comes to football media and soccer in the United States. But things changed in media a lot. Writing, blogs kind of went to the wayside. Video became prominent. So I actually moved over to the video side of things. But that just burnt me out in the end, and I had to take a career break for my mental health.
Okay.
And during that time, I did some creative projects. I got into politics a little bit even,
Okay.
but I eventually just settled on working at two retail stores, one in Queens, one in
Okay.
Brooklyn.
Okay.
One was an outdoor supply store, and one was a sneaker boutique.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was actually pretty good. I made $13 an hour underneath the table,
Okay.
which is actually more than federal minimum wage with tax, so I appreciated that. And
Yeah.
they paid cash every week, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not the same. It's not the same on PDX.
No,
No,
well, so I'll just say Portland has a higher minimum wage, but our income tax is very high. What offsets it is the fact we pay no sales tax. So the price you see is the price you're paying. It feels pretty good. Like when you go to the Apple store and you need to buy a $2,000 MacBook,
Yes.
you don't get hit with another $200 on top for tax.
Yeah.
nice.
It's
It's nice.
nice. It's very nice.
So that's another big reason why I came. No, but that not why I came out here. But that was a nice surprise when you come out here because you get your check and you're like, 30% is gone. What okay, well at least my iPhone's cheaper, so it's cool.
It's cool.
So, but to wrap up how I got here, a few years into the working retail, I'm still freelance writing, keeping my name out there, and an editor at HuffPost, Lucy McCalmont, she was my boss there.
Okay.
She got a job as director of writing at Nike Football,
Okay.
and her first call was when she was building her team out was to draft me up. I remember because it was actually on 420, and I was very, very high, very stoned.
Okay.
And she called me up and said, do you want to interview to work for Nike Football? And unbelievable moment. Really was, because it kind of came out of the blue.
Okay.
And again, I was very stoned, so my mind was going all sorts of places. So a few months later, and many interviews and writing tests and samples later, I got the job, and 2 weeks after I signed the contract, I flew out here.
Okay.
And I had never been to the West Coast before, never been to Portland before, had
Okay.
no idea. I only knew about 2 people here. And yeah, I came out here and started going to work at world headquarters at Nike every day. It was a fantastic experience all around. really learned a lot. It was my first time copywriting as opposed to working in journalism exclusively. So it was like learning a new language, so to speak, but kind of like with the same kind of skills.
Okay.
It's like, you know, if you speak Spanish, you can kind of speak Italian.
Yeah. It's not really the same English because Italiano we speak with the end,
the oscillations and gestations.
But you
know, like grammar wise, like it's they're kind of similar, and the conjugations and whatnot. But yeah, I had to relearn a new skill, and it was taking stories and product stories and making them whole. I got to work with a lot of really great football people at Nike. I work closely with the design teams on both boots and on shirts and apparel collections. I learned a lot about the technology and research and development and just the painstaking process that goes into creating just a shirt or just a pair of boots. There's a lot like these are people who are basically aerospace engineers, who go on to design a Tesla and stuff, and they're working on football boots.
This is testing. This testing for the all items or the different.
Yeah. So especially in the boot space, like with the elite level boots, like Mercurial, Tiempo, Phantom. The testing is crazy. The flight ball that they have now, the new shape of the ball, they did so many tests on that, and they test athletes too. Like for example, elite athletes as well. So, they're really putting athletes through the machine, through the technology for the product. So getting the behind the scenes and telling that story then in the Nike app was a great experience. And then you get to talk to some athletes as well. I got to interview Barcelona FC Femeni's athletes, Alexia Putellas, Patrick Guiardo, Asisa Oshola, and Caroline Graham Hansen. So we all we did a Zoom interview. It was like 4 a.m. my time, and I spoke to them all at the same time, and it turned into a campaign.
Okay, it's not really the job for you. It's just passion.
Yes. Yeah, it really was the passion. See, the job part is the stuff that you can't really control, right? Which is how are the stakeholders going to feel about my work? How does the designer want to cut some of my copy? These are all things that you work and collaborate with people, and you do. But in terms of the thrust of it, like the ideas, where the idea comes from deep inside, it comes from the passion. It doesn't come from I don't really know the game, and I don't really know these footballers. She's popular, she scores the goals. It's at a deeper level, and I feel like it's something that obviously Nike has shown time and time again. They present athletes on that deeper level and get everyone to connect to them, and it's because the people working there are very passionate. Everyone there, for the most part, that I worked with in global football, everyone loves global football. We in our creative studio, we would have the Champions League matches on. I watched the Liverpool win the Club World Cup at work, and I did a slide across the studio in a full kit.
In 2020.
This was early 2020, or right before the pandemic shut everything down.
What do you think to design today for the all items, for the jersey, for the balls, for the shoes? What do you think today to design? What do you think?
What does it take to design them?
Yeah, to design everything.
So the designers spend a lot of time on not only the aesthetic of it, but also the storytelling behind it, the purpose and intent of it, the performance aspect as well, because that's critical and key to every single component. So everything is very, very detailed and down to literally each part, each stitch. So they're, like I said, these designers are often people who could be aerospace engineers. They're very talented people with their hands and with their knowledge. So to design there, it takes a lot. It's not just a typical fashion degree in those two cases. Apparel engineering and boot engineering specifically is crazy. These things are like Formula One cars, the way that like the Mercurial is designed, or the way that Phantom GT is designed, with the technologies that go into it. it's just so it's so complicated. So
Yeah.
it was then my job to, you know, take that all apart and make it digestible to the consumer. But you know, the design for everything, it can get diluted sometimes though, because legal has to come through, you know, other stakeholders have to come in. So sometimes it starts as one thing and then it ends as another, just to get it to the finish line. Because at the end of the day, there's a launch date for the product.
Okay.
So no matter what happens, you need to meet that launch date. And sometimes it means literally redesigning an entire story around things that don't even have to do with the products, just because legal said so. I had that experience with a Mercurial boot, where I had to change an entire campaign storyline in 3 hours, because legal said that
it's a lot of time.
Yeah, 3 months of work erased in 3 hours because legal said we can't verify something that you were going to publish, even though a designer told it to me.
Okay. What is your best when you work in Nike?
Yeah.
What is the best shirt and you see when you work Nike?
So the best shirt would probably be, in terms of the technology, it would be the next gen VaporKnit. So the VaporKnit that they currently use now, the match level, you know, the one that costs like $160. That started in 2020 when it was, now it's called Dry Fit Advanced. Then it was called Next Gen VaporKnit. But that's when you really see the, you know, because you know on those Nike chassis it's like 3D. Yeah, the way that it's cut and ribbed, and that's also supposed to be for sweat wicking purposes. So that was an incredible shirt, because before, to me, like, everything was just plain polyester, right? Even the match worn stuff, and it didn't fit well. This was something that fit you athletically. It looks good. The chassis moved with your shoulders really well, but it was still tight, and just you kept cool and light the whole time. So technology-wise, that was incredible. But in terms of the actual look, I mean, I gotta go with. You know, I want to go with Liverpool because the first year I was there, that was their first Nike contract. So I saw the shirt 3 months early during a meeting, and I stood up in the meeting and clapped, and everyone looked at me like I was a total doofus, but I had to. But if I'm to be objective, I'm going to have to give props to the Nigeria home kit.
Which team?
Nigeria men's national team. The home kit they dropped in 2021. So it wasn't the 2018 one that made waves, but it was the 2021. It was the 2021 one that I forgot what. I forgot who wore it eventually, or what major tournament it was attached to. But they took it in a more different direction with that, and I thought the apparel collection as a whole was just tremendous.
You know, to jersey Nigeria 2018.
Yeah.
It's the inspiration is from jersey from 1996 Atlanta Games. From the jersey from the 2020 Nigeria.
Yeah.
The inspiration is from 1995, the first jersey for Nike. This jersey is never sell. Never sell. The first jersey in Nigeria never sell. The second jersey from 1996, it's for Atlanta Olympic Games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, so that's the thing with Nike in Nigeria, is that they all, like, especially now, they make sure Nigeria has the freshest stuff, like they make sure the storytelling is on point as well. I got to work on the Nigeria collection during, I think it was Holiday 21, when they came out with poncho.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah, with the
poncho. It's so amazing items. It's from
I think this was Holiday 2021.
2021 for African Nation Cup in Cameroon. Yeah.
So this was part of the collection, and they wanted it, the tapestry. It was very heavily influenced by traditional Nigerian tapestries and robes from ceremonial kind of events.
the little story for the aspiration for Nigeria design. It's from to Yoruba ethnic.
Yeah.
It's the aspiration is from jersey 1995.
Mhm.
The first jersey when Nigeria used this jersey, it's for Confederation Cup 1995 in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
This name for the Confederation Cup is not called Confederation Cup. Is called Coupe King Fahd.
Right.
After to FIFA boy to competition. You
Yeah.
know, money.
They changed it, but I got to do a lot of special things in Nike football, and you know, of course, you have to get the gear too after you know, you write about it, you spend all this time about it, and you know about the products a year in advance. So when it finally comes out and you get to hold it and wear it, it's very special.